All right, let's dive right into this explainer and discover exactly how Apple's VoiceOver Utility serves as the ultimate control center for macOS accessibility. We are going to explore a tool that fundamentally changes how people interact with their computers, basically turning complex visual interfaces into an entirely auditory and tactile experience. It is pretty amazing.
So, how do you navigate a Mac entirely without a screen? It's a fascinating challenge to think about, right? And it instantly frames the immense, incredibly complex job this built-in screen reader has to perform every single second. Just imagine trying to use Finder, Safari, Mail, Terminal, or even Microsoft Office without ever glancing at your monitor. Well, VoiceOver bridges that gap through spoken feedback, keyboard controls, braille displays, and audio cues.
Today, we're going to meet VoiceOver Utility, look at core speech and verbosity, master system navigation, dive into power user features, and wrap up by comparing VoiceOver to the competition.
Section 1. Meet VoiceOver Utility.
So what exactly is this tool and where do you find it? Well, for most users, getting to this advanced settings center requires a simple 4-step journey through the standard macOS settings. You just open System Settings, click on Accessibility, select VoiceOver, and click Open VoiceOver Utility. It's tucked away deliberately, mostly because it acts as the master dashboard for customizing literally everything, from reading speed all the way to braille support.
But hey, for power users, these direct keyboard shortcuts are absolute game changers. Pressing Command plus F5 toggles VoiceOver on and off instantly. And if you need to tweak a setting on the fly, hitting Control, Option, and F8 opens the VoiceOver Utility directly, completely bypassing the need to dig through all those menus. Boom, you open it up and you're greeted with this massive sidebar packed with categories like General, Verbosity, Speech, and Braille. You've also got dedicated sections for web navigation, sound, visuals, and even screen sharing. Basically, each category gives you complete control over a totally different aspect of the VoiceOver experience.
Section 2. Core Speech and Verbosity.
Now, verbosity is absolutely crucial here. Why? Well, think about a beginner. They need high-detail status announcements and helpful hints to learn the ropes. But an advanced user? They need rapid, concise feedback to move as quickly as possible. You can control exactly how much information is spoken, like whether every single piece of punctuation is read aloud, how notifications are handled, and the exact level of detail and descriptions. It's really one of the most important customization areas for users' daily comfort.
Diving into the speech settings, users can deeply customize everything from the language and voice type, voices like Samantha, Alex, or Siri, all the way down to the exact speaking rate and pitch. You definitely aren't stuck with just one voice. There are built-in options like Daniel, Thomas, and Kyoko. You can even set up multi-language speech configurations to perfectly match your specific workflow.
Okay, this is one of my absolute favorite features, the pronunciation dictionary. It lets IT professionals and students force the system to read technical acronyms correctly. So instead of the screen reader clunkily spelling out GUI, you can just set it to smoothly say GUI. If you are working in a networking lab or coding all day, correcting these technical terms and acronyms makes a massive difference in how fast you can actually comprehend what's on screen.
Section 3. Mastering System Navigation.
How do you actually move around the operating system and complex web pages? Well, the navigation section allows you to tweak cursor wrapping and keyboard focus. But I've got to share a huge pro tip here. Change the main VoiceOver modifier key to caps lock. By default, the modifier is Control plus Option, which honestly can be a real stretch for your fingers over long sessions. It practically guarantees finger cramps. Swapping it to caps lock vastly improves one-handed use and fundamentally speeds up how advanced users fly around their Mac.
Now, if we're talking about conquering the web, we absolutely have to talk about the Rotor. It is arguably VoiceOver's most powerful conceptual tool and is specifically designed for browsing in Safari and other web browsers.
Instead of painfully reading a website top to bottom, the Rotor lets a user instantly skip past advertisements and jump directly from heading to heading or link to link. It makes browsing incredibly efficient. You can also filter by landmarks, buttons, or form controls. It takes a dense, overwhelming web page and turns it into a highly structured, easily navigable list.
Section 4. Power User and Pro Features.
Now we're getting into the really heavy-hitting, pro-grade capabilities that developers and accessibility testers rely on every day. VoiceOver isn't just limited to speech. It offers extensive support for physical, refreshable braille displays and uses modern AI to actually describe images and detect screen layouts.
The braille integration is incredibly professional grade, supporting braille status cells, display routing, and seamless USB or Bluetooth connections. Plus, the VoiceOver recognition feature leverages AI to identify controls and recognize text directly from visuals. It's next level.
Check this out. With the Activity system, you can configure the utility to automatically switch its entire personality based on the specific app you open. You can set up completely different profiles, like one for reading, one for shopping, or a highly specific one for programming.
Let's say you're coding. A programming activity profile can be set to speak every single bracket and comma when you enter source code in Xcode, and then magically revert to natural speech when you go back to reading an article. It can automatically change your verbosity, your pronunciation rules, and even sound settings without you pressing a single button.
Section 5. VoiceOver versus the competition.
Taking a step back to look at the whole industry, how does this stack up? Well, while NVDA and JAWS are undeniably powerful Windows alternatives, VoiceOver's massive advantage is that it is totally free and deeply natively integrated into the OS. No downloads required. JAWS requires a paid license, and while NVDA is free, neither of them are built into the operating system right out of the box the way VoiceOver is on macOS and iOS.
The big takeaway from our source material today is this. VoiceOver isn't just a basic on and off toggle, not even close. It's a remarkably robust, complete accessibility management ecosystem built directly into macOS. Almost every single aspect of this system can be modified to fit the precise, nuanced needs of educators, developers, IT professionals, and everyday users.
I want to leave you with this final thought. Whether you're a developer testing software, an IT admin, or an everyday Mac user, how might this built-in powerhouse transform the way you interact with your technology? What accessibility barrier could VoiceOver Utility help you or your users overcome today? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. I really hope you found this deep dive as fascinating as I did. Catch you next time.